Welcome back. Welcome back. It is a fantastic Friday right here on Liquid Lunch. And markets are breezing through a Friday, looking to go into the weekend on a high note here. Dow up 360, about 1.5%, 24,235. Good news there. Bitcoin still middling around just under 10,000. Those type of numbers like 10,000, so when they break new digits on a Friday, tends to get people more interested. So 10.3, 10.5, 10.7, somewhere in there. Bitcoin could be on a whole new trajectory with the halving approaching. And approaching the show right now, my good friend, my partner, Frank Morano, joins us along with Scott Rank. Scott's a professor and author of History's 9 Most Insane Rulers. He's also the host of one of the top history podcasts, History Unplugged. And Scott, I want you to tell us all about these insane rulers, and then when we're done, on a side note, I'd like you to tell me why I was left out of the book as an insane ruler.
I'll do what I can. Yeah.
So tell us, give us some of the most insane things we've seen throughout history with people in the ruling class.
We've seen a lot. Imagine if Joe Exotic from Tiger King were your emperor or your king, and this is basically what you get. So you have a guy who had an 80-foot tall golden statue that rotated to face the sun. You had another guy, Caligula, who wanted to get it on with his sister, and he made his horse a senator. You had a guy who thought he was made of glass, and he could break at any moment, Charles VI. And a guy who liked large women, and he tried to get the fattest woman he could to join his harem. She weighed 400 pounds, and that was Sultan Ibrahim. And it was hard to pick these 9 because there were so many other contenders, but that's just a little brief rundown there.
All right. Well, so I know part of the interest from this book, part of the interest in this book has been all about Kim Jong-Un, who was going to succeed him. Would it be somebody crazy? Talk to me about Kim Jong-Un. Where does Kim Jong-Un fall with respect to the insane rulers that you profiled in the book? Crazier, as crazy, not as crazy? What do we think about Kim Jong-Un?
I don't know if
right. I mean,
yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I heard that. Now it's on. Give him some time. I think he could be as bad as his father. He likes to party with Dennis Rodman, and his people starve. His father, I think, wins just because he was president longer. He said that when he was born, there was a double rainbow that appeared in the sky, and it turned from winter to spring automatically. And the first time he golfed, he shot 38 under par with 6 holes in one. And if you or I say that, people would laugh at us, and they should laugh at us. I mean, people should laugh at us when we say things like that. He says things like that, and he said it almost every day when he was president, dear leader of North Korea. And if you didn't agree with him, then he would have you sent to a prison camp and executed. So it's sort of like if you're a celebrity and people think they live in their own weird little world. Well, I mean, imagine if you were a celebrity and you could have people killed.
Wow.
That's right.
Well,
so that's how you get a Kim Jong-il.
Imagine if you were only a presidential candidate like Hillary and you could have people killed. Imagine that.
Imagine that. Yeah. Hypothetically.
Right. Allegedly. The one thing I never heard before, if you can go back, you said there was a ruler who thought he was made of glass.
Yeah, this was a guy, Charles VI in France in the 1300s and 1400s. And the best I can make of this is it's like people today who say they were abducted by aliens. They saw Alien or aliens when they were in high school, and they swear that the xenomorph came to them. Back then, people used glass a lot as an analogy, that you have to be clean like glass, pure like glass. And like people who think they were abducted by aliens today, he heard that enough that it self-hypnosis, disassociation from reality, he really thought it. So he told people, don't sneak up on me, don't wear shoes when you're close to me or I might shatter. I'm never going to take a bath. I could break into a million pieces. he didn't do too well as king, and France almost completely fell apart. So don't have a guy who thinks he's made of glass as your president or king.
Scott, I mean, obviously that's a pretty glaring example of insanity. The other example that you cited about an attraction to, Zoftic women, I don't know if that's as glaring of an example, but what's your criteria here? How do you determine which rulers are insane, which rulers are simply just despotic, which may be power hungry? Was there a psychologist or any sort of psychological criteria that you used to certify a ruler as
We're
insane?
in our final minute here, guys.
Yeah, so I use a legal term where the legal definition of insanity, you are completely disassociated from reality. A short example is this president of Turkmenistan who renamed the days of the week and the months of the year and an asteroid after himself. And he thought he was doing a good thing by giving people a national hero. So Donald Trump, Joe Biden, they're a little bit weird, but it's a completely different galaxy compared to other people like that in the past. So we have it better than we think we do, I would say.
Fantastic. Scott Rank is a PhD. He's the author of the book History, hosted a podcast, History Unplugged. Also the author of the book History's 9 Most Insane Rulers. And for those of you who watch at home, you probably know this already, but in case you missed it, his description of insane was basically a perfect characterization of me. So I may qualify for one of the later versions of his book. But Scott, thank you so much for joining us. Frankie's going to hang out with us. We're going to take a quick break right here.